Welcome and hello, hello and welcome, guys. Welcome and hello, hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. Bienvenidos a todos. Gracias a todos. Thank you for joining me. TGIF. TG, you got a tiny wing. TG, you got a nice, strong portfolio. I pulled the audience and I found your portfolios are strong, quite strong, and your wings remain a little bit south of tiny, but that's okay, guys. You got to work with what you can work with. And we're here to say, hey, we're all okay. We're all okay. Anyway, guys, I'm going for like a sort of a throwback, fat Brian Bosworth look. Don't really know what this looks all about, but like I said, you got to work with what you got. Um, so anyway, I want to talk just briefly about SoFi. I know I always say I'm going to keep my videos brief, and I never do because I'm a big verbose fat idiot who likes to just sort of go on and never say anything of any particular import. But in any case, guys, I do want to talk SoFi because I frankly believe there's still a huge opportunity sitting in front of you with this stock. Um, I don't believe any of these valuation trolls. I think when analysts look at this stock, I remember about a year ago they were polling them and they were, predicting sort of a 17, maybe 19%, but most of them were like 17, 18% 5-year CAGR rate for SoFi. And then going forward, I was just kind of using a couple AI, a couple different sites, and it looks like, now they're looking at sort of a 19 to 20% CAGR over the next 5 years, including this year. And I guess my central thesis for why I believe the stock is in fact undervalued and not overvalued is that they just grossly underestimate what that CAGR number is going to be over the next 5 years. I would submit it's going to be closer to 30 than it is to 20, because if you look at the growth rates in financial services, um, and you sort of look at the new businesses they're bringing online, and you look at how fast they're able to keep up membership ads, um, I think I've been saying I think they underestimate the EPS because they don't understand the bit. Not that they don't understand. I think they intentionally misstate. I mean, that's really the bottom line. I think some of these analysts are out there doing the work, but if you look at some of these other analysts, I mean, you know, you're talking about people who restate their sell rating, 12, 13, 14 times a year. You have to realize that's sort of an agenda driven, tiny weighing energy. Real analysts don't do that. I mean, that are doing the work, that are creating models, like a guy like a touchdown Danny Dolev, um, or Andrew Jeffrey, who Tanner did an excellent interview with, by the by. But these guys are doing the work. They have models. Now, if you put in, say, just, for the sake of argument, you change the CAGR assumption from 20 to 30. Now, I know that's a hell of a jump, and you say, okay, more realistically, maybe it'll be 24, 25, because as you grow something, obviously, as a proportion, the growth is going to become less. So it's harder to grow at really high rates as your company becomes bigger. But my counter argument to that would be SoFi is not by any means a mature business. Anthony Noto set things up in a certain order. He knew he had to first own the entire, technology stack. Secondly, he knew they needed to become a bank. Thirdly, he knew they needed to add all these other features. Fourthly, or whatever the quadrinary, he knew they had to add on these, and then they're starting to add these high margin businesses, which are the platforms. You're basically selling access to your membership, access to your name recognition, access to your credibility, access to your technology, and it's fee based and it's capital light. You don't really have to spend anything. You already own the tech company. So I think they're not only underestimating the EPS, I think they're underestimating how that growth is going to accelerate into further interest rate cuts. I think all these things SoFi are doing with the stadium, the Olympics, the World Cup. You have this live golf is just exploding. I think SoFi is making a lot of really wise moves in terms of how they spend their advertising dollar, their marketing. I think people are brilliant. I think SoFi is quickly growing into a household name. It's getting there. Um, Yeah, held 20. Chris, it's kind of interesting you'd say that because if you actually look at the chart, I mean, this is really nice. I mean, you see this is just clearly in an uptrend. I mean, guys, lows control an uptrend and highs control a downtrend, and that should be pretty obvious why. I mean, when you think about, scarcity, think about what the term a seller's market means or a buyer's market means. A seller's market means, there's not that many sellers in the market. Sellers want higher prices. There's a lot of buyers in the market. Obviously, buyers are the opposite. So, really, lows control an uptrend, highs control a downtrend. I see this thing in a clear wedge. I mean, I know it was the brilliant Sean Vaughn who pointed out that every fat U-turder with a stick of gum goes around drawing wedges all over everything, and they never move anywhere. They just take a big mouse fart and don't do anything, and the U-turder is just a big horse's ass. Well, he has a point. He has a fair point there. Um, but if you look at what was I talking about? Let me just zoom in a little bit. I hate these charts. I just got a new computer, guys. So if this thing's not working properly, um, I blame, I don't know who I blame, but I blame somebody. So today you see on a red candle, it made a much higher high than yesterday, and it made a much higher low than yesterday. So forget this noise, this little, tepid soup push down at the end, this little, just forget about it. Look at where the volume was, look at where they were buying, look at the range of the day. That's where the buyers and sellers were. It doesn't matter these little, reindeer games they play to make you, feel like you get a small wing because you actually do. So that's where they got you. They got you by the balls on that one. That's not what we're talking about today. Of course, every one of my shows is, fixated like a moron on juvenile toilet humor, but that's just me. Look at that big magnificent line up into the right. Indeed, clap my dog. Indeed. What's going on, guys? Chris Flow to me, 2026 guidance is going to tell us a significant amount. Indeed, Chris, that's the key. And I mean, I think they're going to guide for, a little bit, underwhelming guidance. But to me, don't look at the guidance, look at what they actually deliver. I think next quarter is going to be as excited as people were about last quarter. I think this next quarter is going to be even better. Tanner, Tevis, others, I've seen about 5 or 6 different U-turners doing videos on website traffic, how it's just completely off the charts. I saw a comparison to like Discover, Lending Club. SoFi is just going up, up and away on their traffic, on their name, on all of it. I mean, they're not as big as Discover yet, obviously, but look at what they were bought out for by Capital One. And then look at these, the people with the valuation concerns. I know Kramer, maybe he's genuine. He just changes his mind constantly. Just has no idea what he's talking about. But he was the guy when the stock was sitting at like just, resting a little bit after the ER, like in the high 20s. He's like, it's resting here to go back up again. And then a couple weeks later, he's like, well, just don't buy the stock till 20. And at that point, it was like 26, 27. So he's just calling for like a 30% haircut. Like, think about the irony of a guy that bald calling for that haircut that big. He only got a little bit of hair around the sides. You know what I mean? Look like a guy trying to send soup back at a deli. Like a guy who buys your suits at a secondhand store in Milwaukee. Get those brown Kmart poopy pants. You're always hiking them up as you go. Booyah. Buy at 20. I'll buy at 20. I'm going to buy NVIDIA at 175. I'm going to pick up some Palantir at 40. Load me some Google or about, 175. Whatever I want, doesn't matter. God, I hate everybody, especially you guys. Yeah, I mean, Noto, whip it out, dude. I mean, we've had enough. We've had enough of this little, I'm going to, play it close to the vest. I've got great hair. I'm spending shareholder dollars on, extensive Botox treatments. I'm getting younger by the day. Well, Danny Deals is aging like a piece of produce in the sun, shriveling up like a raisin in the sun. Oh, you seen Danny? He looks terrible. Oh, child. I identify as an elderly fat black woman often. I don't know why that is. Perhaps it has something to do with my extensive man boob history. He is a handsome man, my papa. Kind of, you guys see the resemblance? A lot of people say I look like a young Robert Redford. Other people say a fat Paul Newman. I do like his salad dressing. But I'm going with that Brian Bosworth theme to these red glasses. These things are the only things, like, I know they're a little bit goofy, but they cut the glare and I can actually see the screen. My intermediates don't work. Oh, my intermediates. They're failing me at a critical situation. Oh, God, no. Not the intermediates. Um, that is what I'm saying, Didi. It's time. It's finally time to show us like a streaker. You're dragging me down into the gutter, and I'm already in the gutter. You're trying to drag me into the gutter, but I'm already in the sewer. So I've already bested you, good sir. No, yes. I mean, if we want to make the entire show about, the executive teams, running around like a bunch of college kids, we can do that. But no, we have pros, but this was just the point. It's another good article. I mean, they're shorting the stock. The short's back up to 10% of the float. Very, very significant. You don't see a stock growing this stably, earning money, ultra reliable, ultra predictable. What are you shorting? The credit's going to fall apart. Defaults are going to exist. All that stuff is trending in the other direction. It's trending in bullish direction. Everything is trending in a bullish direction. I think what's going to really hit people in the face like a cold hard salami on this one is EPS is going to be up, but I think revenues are going to be sort of the shocking number here. I think that CAGR at 20 over the next 5 years is at least 5 points low, and it could be 10 points low. Okay. And if it's 10 points low, do you understand what that does to those estimates, to those models? With the compounding is not just for interest. Compounding works the exact same way in models. So if your assumption is 20% CAGR over the next 5 years, and it actually turns out to be 30%, that's a 49% change in sort of more straightforward models. If you look at discounted cash flow models, that could be anywhere from 40 to 70% change in those valuations. I mean, so that's the whole ball game. That's the whole thing. Because we know the margins are going to be there. The businesses that are growing the fastest have tremendous margins. I mean, it's not, Palantir or NVIDIA margins, but, this is, after all, a bank. Hold on one moment, guys. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Welcome and hello and welcome. By the way, it is Unpoco Moss. I think we forgot to do all the welcome and hello stuff, but the short interest is, let's see, yeah, almost 10%, 121 million shares sold short. Good article today. I don't really know this author that well. I've seen him a few times, but it's Tangerine Tan Capital, kind of a goofy name, but whatever. It's calling me Cornbread, Hurricane Lopez, Mini Water, Tugboat, Stubby Cohiba, DJ Patchy Drizzle, MC Al Dente, Stock Karen, Tabasco Rojas, Big Schloss, Big Ho. I don't know why I like Big Schloss. I like to just call people randomly. Like when they call me big guy, which is like everybody, it's when you're big and like broad and fat, people just have a free license to just call you big guy all the time. Terrible. When they do that, I call them horse. Oh, thanks, horse. Table's ready, big guy. I'm like, hey, thanks, horse. You don't know how to take it because, like, do you have a horse face? Are you like strong like a horse? Is it a compliment? It doesn't sound like a compliment. Just calling because the inflection I use when I'm calling you horse, it's not a complimentary horse. Um, Anyway, I got distracted. I got people at the door. I got people on the phone. Just everybody wants stuff on Friday. Know what I mean? People are knocking off. They want to get paid. They want answers. They want materials picked out. They want direction. They want answers, and I don't have any. A poorly aging fat guy. Hold on one second, guys. I completely understand if you guys have to bail. Honest to God, I just have to go to the bathroom. And as many of you admonished me in the past, I do wash my hands, just thoroughly with soap and water. So you got to wait for a minute. Sorry, but if you want to leave, please leave. This show sucks anyway. Thank you. Hey, sorry about that, guys. I'm just like running around like an idiot here, choking, almost fell down. Ugh, got a brand new computer. I don't even know how to use computers. I hate computers. I hate technology. I hate my phone. I'm basically a big caveman. I wasn't born for this era. I should have been born like the 1950s. Worked my whole life in like a Chrysler factory. I don't know. Anyway, just been more fitting. I have like a high and tight haircut. Should have been like a Polish guy from Wisconsin. Thinking about starting a catering business. Thinking about giving it all up. Working at Trader Joe's. I can't stand. Try to make a bun. I mean, I know this isn't. This is. Sorry, guys. Sorry, my voice. I've been yelling at people all week, and getting yelled at too by my superiors. But shit flows downhill, as they say. But I don't know. Like, invest for the right reasons. Enjoy it. Like, don't be afraid of taking profits. Don't fall in love with your stocks. Be in love with people. Not stocks. Be in love with your passions, your hobby. Don't be passionate about stuff. Don't be a gearhead who never actually rides. Don't be that gearhead who never actually uses your equipment. Don't be that guy in like the multi-compartment vest that's like brand new, or that douchebag in the Range Rover with the extensive like off-road package and air suspension, $150,000. Oh, it's never seen dirt. Never been off the 405. It just doesn't make your wing any bigger, these things. You wish it would, but it doesn't. Anyway, so investment thesis. It is a company that divides opinions. I agree with that. He wrote, he's basically talking about the growth, and he's talking about how it is. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, actually, I should say. Whoever this is talking about SoFi, like, it's basically just a bank with a small technology component. I think, again, completely misjudging the loan platform business, how that's going to grow. Why do I think CAGR is going to be a lot higher? Well, why do we think that's going to be the only platform business? Why couldn't there be, insurance platform businesses? Why couldn't there be other types of platform businesses? Where do they build business banking into their models? Why don't they think, these IPOs and, private placements and these opportunities they have to, work with investments that retail investors don't normally have access to? Why do they think this is going to decelerate? Because if you're talking about less than 20% CAGR, I'm not talking about even in absolute numbers, I think you're talking about deceleration or very close to it. I think this company could introduce new products, go in completely new directions, be growing at like 40 and 50%. I know that sounds crazy right now, but I think Noto has a master plan. I think he's going to hit people from the left, from the right, jab, uppercut, straight punch. my my buddy's a comedian, kind of a not super well known comedian, but he's known. He's on TV and stuff, occasionally in Pakistan. He's not on. He's on streaming. I don't know what the hell he's on. He claims to be on some venue or other, but I never see it. But I don't even have TV or cable, so the fuck would I know? Gave up TV a few years ago. Best decision you ever make. It's like giving up alcohol and sugar. You never miss it. But I can't give up sugar. Oh, hopeless. But anyway, I used to do this bit about this like domestic violence, like this old style boxing trainer that was like, I can't even do the bit. It's so bad. He's like, oh, he throw. He's like, I don't even remember what he do. He's like, he showed great restraint, the young man. He threw a straight punch. He's like, he threw a straight punch, and I'm not justifying. I'm not. It's like, but you've seen the uppercut, you've seen the power. He showed great restraint, and just threw like a straight punch. I was like, dude, you can't do that bit. It's fucking horrible. He's like, no, I know, but he's like, it's Ralph Cramden. It's like, honey, I'm like, no, you can't do that bit. Who are you, fucking Bill Burr? You got no juice. You get fucking run out of the club on a rail. He's like an ugly little guy too. Like when comedians are ugly or fat or whatever, we have to be extra funny. Like we have to be super hilarious. Because everybody's like, oh, you're a spectacle, right? You're a big fucking clown. You're a jester here to amuse us. Funny how? Funny how? So we got to just be like, if you're overweight, they expect that to be like the focus of your act. Tell some fat. I'm like, I don't want to tell fat jokes. I'm doing like, cerebral stuff here. I'm very broad. They're like, haha, the fat guy said he's broad. Hilarious. Anyway, guys, that's neither here nor there. Let's get back to this article. Enough of my material. Always crashes and burns. We're not paying you for this set. I'm like, I know. That's what happens when I beat an audience member unconscious. Wake up in a blind rage, handcuffs, back of the Laugh Factory. That never happened, of course. Oh, so sorry, guys. I'm totally unfocused. I got so much stuff going on, just so much stuff on my mind. It's like, and then I can't sleep. I haven't eaten anything today. I'm probably going to eat something tremendously unhealthy. I'm trying to get off caffeine, so I'm drinking this green tea, but I'm convinced there's no caffeine in green tea. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. It's like, I feel like the Asians got one over on me. They're just laughing at me. This fat guy drink green tea. Oh yes. He's so sleepy. A fat fuck. I love Asian. Don't take my bad accents as racism, please. It isn't. I love Asian people more than anything. Well, I love Mexican people too, and black people. Getting somewhat sick of white people, but it's not. I love white people, but just we're such Karens. I can't stand all the complaining. Like the best of everything and just constant Karen. I can't stand these lines. Like, honey, there's only 2 people in line. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I want to speak to a manager. Why? Wait 5 minutes? Shut the fuck up. Suck it up, Buttercup. Imagine what your grandparents fucking went off to World War II, fucking fought the Nazis, and you complain about standing in a return line for 5 minutes. So you want to get your, $5 for your flip flops that didn't quite fit that you bought on like a half price boho at Nordstrom Rack online, discount.net, value outlet. Fucking so sick of people. So the people just like complain all day. Los Angeles, these people are unbearable. Just complaining loudly into their cell phone while they're waiting in line for like a vegan meal. Just fucking screaming into their phone about how bad they have it. Have to take their Range Rover in for service. Yeah, well, fuck you, Yeah, Oklo. I'm very familiar with the Oklo move. It was moving today. I was taking a look at it, guy. I haven't had time to look at the market today, guys. I haven't, as you can tell, I'm just doing a sort of a stream of consciousness impromptu improv bit here because I don't have any actual material on SoFi. Just trying to stretch this into some views. Not really, guys. I don't get any views. And every time I make a video, I lose subscribers, which I find hilarious. I know it vexes Not a Lurker because he wants the channel to grow, but I kind of like it not growing. I kind of like looking over and knowing everybody over there. It's like, hey, it's like 10 people. That's fine. That's as many as I can keep track of. 11 if I use my wing. 10 and a half. Oh, man. Oh, it's Sanji's left foot. SMCI needs to sign a fat deal. SMCI is absolutely crushing. Today they came out with, AI PCs, fanless systems. It's going to be very hard for HPE and Dell to compete with SMCI on price, innovation. SMCI moves quickly, and what it showed with the latest announcements is they still have deep integration, sort of first in line partnership with NVIDIA, and that hasn't gone away because the new processors, they're going to be out as soon as anybody. I think the accounting stuff is behind them, and I think they were ultra cautious last quarter to not recognize revenues, even if there was a shadow of a doubt. Even if they got the money, they're like, on an accounting big gap basis, we can't recognize it until we actually flip all the breakers on and everything's juiced up, like Chip Douglas. Free cable for ultimate aphrodisiac. I'm going to put the whole system on trial. Touch it. You need human contact. Put that away. You're going to get me killed. Is it true Matthew Broderick killed someone in like a DUI accident in England or something? Is that like an internet rumor? Or did that actually happen? Do you guys find Sarah Jessica Parker attractive? I do not. What the hell do I know? Not exactly. I'm not the arbiter of good taste nor attractiveness, but I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, Club, my dog. I'm with you on that one, buddy. The great Robert Clark, former UN weapons inspector, I believe, in Iraq. I wish there was a way to know how many people have left B of A and are now with SoFi, left Wells Fargo. I mean, you just see it in the membership growth. I mean, you see these banks losing deposits, and you see SoFi giving people a much, much better deal. And I think I think it was really good that they cut out the free SoFi Plus, because I think we had a lot of Groupon, Poupon, freeloader, BOGO, BOHO, discount hopping, no tipping. Oh, I'm German, I don't tip. Yeah, you have tipping in Germany. You're in America. Stop it. Stop it already. Doing this bit. How much is 2% in Deutschmarks? Yeah. It's euros now. I try to pass off some expired Deutschmarks on me, boss. I got your number, Dieter. Don't even try it, horse. Let's see. The great Ryan Sartell. Why would any real unbiased analyst, guys, can you tell I got this big giant screen computer now, so I don't have to look as far that way, but it's still total incoherent nonsense. I don't know. Why would any real unbiased analyst downgrade SoFi in the weeks before the ER? Yeah, it's just, they're downgrading on the basis of the offering closing. It makes no sense whatsoever. And then you get these cascading downgrades, and then another analyst feels the need to upgrade the price target. It would be much better if like big companies, blue chip analysts, they just, they digested the ER and they did the work, and then they came out with their, valuation. Unless there was some big material change, some big catalyst, some big announcement, they don't just re-rate the company in order to influence the share price. You know, sell side analysts moving the share price through these, fugazi, crazy Ivan, nowhere on the calendar, apropos of nothing. These calls are designed to move the stock price in the short term to take your money, period. Period, point blank, end of conversation. How does B of A go to their institutional clients? How does Goldman go to their institutional clients and go, hey, you wouldn't buy $1.5 billion worth of these shares if you even thought they were worth $27.50. You'd have to think they're worth at least $30 or more. They wouldn't buy in those blocks. They would just wait for a dip and buy in the market. But hey, Goldman can sell a shitty deal anywhere. Look at their Marcus product. Wasn't that going to put SoFi out of business, that retail Marcus product? Then Apple Bank. Apple's just trying to offload their credit card to JP Morgan because they're losing money. They're losing. What SoFi does is not easy. What SoFi have built, nobody else can build. They're pretending they can. They're acting like they can. Like, we offer banking services just like SoFi. No, you don't. Because you're not going to be able to pay these interest rates because you don't have a deposit base. You don't have cash. You don't have durable competitive advantage. It's smoke and mirrors over there. It's soul patches. It's Perk Plus. It's Italian loafers. It's tight pants. And it's a cucumber down the front. It's all an illusion. You guys remember that show, The Pickup Artist, with that guy, The Illusion? This big, tall, weird guy who looked like a bird and is in like a steampunk outfit. And he was trying to explain to fat guys how to pick up chicks at bars in Los Angeles. Put him in these like black plastic bracelets, eyeshadow, like fake tattoos. I never seen anything so stupid in my life. I think his name was Mystery. That's just fucking ridiculous. Got it. If you guys need like so many reasons why I hate people and hate everything and hate the media, I can come up with an infinite number of reasons. You guys want to hear the top model of cars I hate? Starting with Tesla. And I'm a huge Tesla shareholder. Third highest position behind Microsoft and SoFi. I think. Google might be there by now, actually. Might be fourth or fifth. I don't know. Because it's gone down a bit. And I offloaded some actually a little too early, but wanted to buy that SoFi dip. That's what I always say. What happened to all your money? I just wanted to buy that SoFi dip. Been doing that for years. Forget about it. Got FU money. Try to push my shares down. I'm going to push back. I'll buy that dip, son. Anyway. KRKNF. Isn't that too many letters? What is that, a punk rock band? I prefer Black Flag. The Great Double Wide. How does SMCI do its cooling? Many data sitters have huge. Yeah, SMCI has, I believe, the best liquid cooling, and I've looked hard at this. They have the best liquid cooling, the easiest serviceable racks, the lowest total cost. By far the fastest to actually, from concept to actually turning the thing on. Nobody can touch them on speed, on cost, on versatility. They're much easier to service their systems than others. Now they're good for certain things. They're not good for every. I was reading an article on like why, HPE is the king of like sovereign AI, like these different data centers that governments want to set up, and why, generative AI, they're all different things, and certain racks and certain processors, and so like certain things you might be better off going with an Intel processor because it's a lower cost and it can do the same thing, and you maybe, density is not as critical in a particular application, but what's always critical is power usage, because that's going to be a critical component in your overall cost of running this data center over, its 10 or 15-year lifespan or whatever that is. And that gets back to these, building block systems and these other systems that SMCI is introducing. I think it's, why do customers like Elon Musk use SMCI? I believe it's for speed and for cost. That's all he cares about. He doesn't care that the racks have a big emblem on them that everybody knows, a big, HP or Dell or whatever. He just knows SMCI can do it faster, cheaper, and better. Or at least as good, or at least nearly as good. At least serviceable, like a 12th man. Deep frying pork chops and Billy Jack, you're killing me. I love deep fried pork chops. One of my favorite things is salt and pepper pork chops at a good, authentic Chinese restaurant. Get the sliced jalapeno on there, that big, heavy salt, that sea salt, big cracked pepper. Give me some salt and pepper, whatever. Shrimp, calamari. Oh, Billy Jack. Chance we can move you out to Los Angeles, make you my life coach. I got my life coach back here frying some pork chops. You guys are going to have to come back later. Oh, those are the days. Those were the days. So anyway, I was reading this article, but I've obviously have severe mental problems and can't focus for more than 10 seconds. SoFi's technology platform, which was touted last year. So he's basically talking about tech lost 10 million accounts, which there's no, even though revenues increased 12%, which again, if you listen to what SoFi is saying, is there's going to be this sort of long grinding evolution with the technology from smaller sort of meaningless accounts to larger, more substantial accounts where there will be more profit. But that process has obviously been, far slower and less, fulfilling, less fruitful than many of us investors would have hoped. But guys, it doesn't matter if one segment is not growing as fast. What matters is overall the business is growing and thriving. Not everything you try is going to be a home run. If people don't go for the tech core, they have to be nimble, they have to be quick, jump your happy ass over the candlestick and start developing things for Amazon Web Services, start developing things for Microsoft, start developing things for the backbones people are going to be on and get them buying, blocks, whatever you call those things, your module. Sell your module. Sell them a module. Sell them whatever you got to sell them. Sell them smaller bites that you can sell faster. You can sell cheaper. You can sell with less commitment. Maybe they don't want to marry Galileo. Maybe they just want to go out and, have a fling. They want to test the waters. Maybe they want to see what you're working with. Maybe they're not into, happy-go-lucky and the tiny wing gang. Maybe they're more in the line of Billy Jack and the Butt Crack Boys. Somebody's got a nice fried pork chop stuffed down their chonies, if you know what I mean. Know what I mean? Think you do. I still can't really see the comments, so that's an issue. Maybe I should put the screen I'm looking at on the right and then the comments on the left, because the comments appear on the right on the stupid StreamYard thing and you can't adjust the layout as far as I know. Plus, StreamYard charges a fortune now. They used to have a cheap plan for little wannabes who didn't need any services. Now they charge a fortune. I don't know. I don't want to monetize this stupid channel though. Nobody watches, and those ads are so obtrusive, so in your face. A big dangling pair of testicles. Those ads are tough to miss. It's like some of these guys too, they start their show and they hit you right at the intro with like a 5-minute ad. I want to thank, Depends for sponsoring this. I just shit my pants and, I'm good. It's like, dude, I mean, come on, give me like a 15-minute hit. Give me 30 seconds. My God, hit me with like a 4 to 5 minute commercial. I don't see it. Your sponsor that, it's always the same crap, the VPN network. Are you surfing? Are you traveling internationally? Listen, nobody who's watching YouTube constantly is some big international man of mystery. We're all huddled up in our shitty condos or apartments, just wishing we were somewhere else, thinking about what might have been. Could have made state. Things could have been different. Just going straight Uncle Rico. Watch a fat guy go through a mental health crisis. Come on. You don't have anything that important to do. Except Double Wide. Double Wide's a huge channel. This guy's a total badass. Probably flips more trailers in a little bit. I saw a show on TV where they were like repossessing trailers. It's crazy. They just come like with this big truck and just crane, just like take your house. Like, you didn't make your payments. Sorry. It's like, whoa. It's out in like somewhere, Appalachia, out in a holler. Thinking about giving this up and just going looking for sighing. Yeah, you just run around looking for sighing, and then you find sighing and you sell it for a ton of money. A lot of people making a lot of money in the sighing business. I've been trying to do sighing around here, but there ain't no sighing in Los Angeles. Every time I find a tiny patch of dirt, I dig down deep. 10 feet down, 20 feet down, no sighing. Got me nothing but a bad back. Couldn't believe how much they pay for sighing. That show, I mean, during COVID, I saw so many shows I just didn't want to see. Get way too into like storage wars, fake storage lockers. Makes you want to like go out and start like buying storage units. I considered doing it. I'm like, I should get into this. Want to get like a U-Haul and go through somebody's boxes. My God. My God. Oh, the humanity. Anyway, so I have no idea what I was talking about with SoFi, but yeah, I wrote a few things down over here. So SoFi is not a mature business, and I think that's what analysts miss. I think there's all the good stuff is yet to come. All the boring stuff that they had to do first is what everybody's hung up on. Stop being hung up on the past. You're living in the past, man. The future is bright. The future is crypto. The future is stablecoin. The future is these capital light platforms where we're just getting fees on top of fees on top of fees for giving companies that need exposure because they can't get their shit together. They got to go, hey, Godfather. And he goes, if you came to me with respect, these customers that you need, these loans you need to originate, we would be writing them as we speak. But you don't bring me a windbreaker. You don't wear a pantsuit to the interview. You don't even think to call me Papa Noto. What you got for sides with them? That's a great question. I don't know what people eat down south with fried pork chops, but by God, I'd love to find out the hard way. Take a nice roadie. Billy Jack, I could be there in 20 hours. Put on the fryer. Anyway. Frank Tank, yeah. It's a hard 10, but whatever, dude. Who gives a fuck? My career ain't YouTube, and it's never gonna. I never sell anybody anything on here. I said right when I started, I had 0 viewers. I started doing SoFi videos. I'll be like, I never will ask for a penny. Never. Even if I had like 1 million subscribers, I will not monetize. I guess, but is monetizing really asking? I guess I won't have a members area. I don't know. I guess if I had 1 million subscribers, I would monetize because I get a ton of money. So I'd just be a total hypocrite and a liar. But it's America, so that's what we run on. No, I definitely take the money. I definitely can be bought, just not for like, I don't want to inconvenience everybody for like no money. If I'm going to make like $10 a month and you guys have to watch half ads, half show, it just doesn't seem like a good trade off. Now, if I was going to make like, $100,000 a month, inconvenience away. No, I don't know. Wait until I have my beach property. I'll cook you a group of YouTube friends. Awesome. I can't wait. Monetize, do a subscriber portfolio. I don't even really know what it doesn't monetize just mean they send you a bunch of ads and like every time you watch, like there's those little dots. I hate that. I always click off. So I watch way too much YouTube though. I got to make some serious life changes. I have a massive heart attack here at my desk, and somebody else will be able to enjoy my massive stock portfolio. Some lucky bastard will actually know how to enjoy their life rather than waste it just trying to get more. What if I sell more options? Like, yeah, what if? Still going to be a big fat jerk sitting behind a desk. Bad knees, bad eyes, bad hips, bleeding ankle, foot broken in 12 places, shoulder so sore I could barely hit like 10 hard serves before it gives out. I start crying and I retire. The fat gentleman has retired. Game, set, match. Mr. Philippoussis. Got bageled by Philippoussis. I would be proud to do it. No, my viewership only goes down, Brian, with a Y. You can kind of understand because I'm just rambling, complete incoherent nonsense. Doesn't really have anything to do with anything. But I would see, like, why do they keep trying to convince you that the stock is overvalued? Because they want to buy your shares here or lower. Why does Jeffrey Adelson from Morgan Stanley and Tim Switzer, why do they re-rate the stock so often? Normal analyst rates a stock maybe 5 times a year. You know, they're like a dozen, 14. I remember, the Chia Pet at one point rated the stock like 6 times in 8 weeks or something. It's just crazy. It's just they just want to get to the top of this list. You notice, like, as soon as Barclays upgraded the price target, old faithful, old smiley guy, run Forrest run, Tim Switzer's here with a quick sell rating. I mean, what is the Goldman downgrade all about? They had a $27 price target. They're the lead underwriter in the offering at $27.50. And just randomly, for absolutely no reason, they downgrade their price target by 12% or whatever. Makes no sense. I mean, I guess they updated their models to include blah, blah, but they didn't update anything. They don't have any real models. I'm telling you, Goldman is one of the, in my opinion, Nafafepo, by the way. Nafafepo, don't sue me, bro. But Goldman is one of the worst at using their calls to try to move the market where they want the market moved. These calls that come out of nowhere, these crazy Ivan calls, are all about altering your behavior in the very short term. They know they don't have much effect beyond a couple of days, but for, over a couple of hours, they can move the market a tremendous amount. And there's a lot of price fixing. There's a lot of money to be made on calls. It's just a lot of money to be made on these project stocks. If you can control the price, you can make money a lot of different ways. At least that's what I try to do. But, hit and miss, hit and miss. I mean, JP Morgan upgrading, JP Morgan buying a ton of shares. You kind of see how this thing goes. They already bought their shares, then they upgrade. For a long time, they were probably trying to keep the price low. When they wanted to buy, they increased their position by 900% or something. I think that's a pretty good estimate, Carl. I know last earnings were about 31.50. I don't know how anybody saw the last ER and thinks this thing's overvalued. I mean, look at the growth rates. Just change your assumptions from 20 just to 25 on CAGR. It's going to change the valuation with compounding by probably 20%. And then these estimates that you're seeing, 27, 28, 31, and if you go to 30, this changes these models by 50% plus, because the power of compounding is that great. And that's how I think, of course, analysts try to be conservative with their models and build in some wiggle room, to the downside. And that's prudent. I understand you'd rather be a little low than a little high. But I think it becomes obvious at a certain point that SoFi is sort of cooking with a special sauce that others don't have. And people would argue with me on that. They'd say, look, Affirm's a better buy. I'd rather buy Lending Club. I'd rather buy, nobody's really saying Upstart right now, but they used to. There's tons of other players in fintech, everybody from, PayPal, the Robinhood. And then a lot of people are like, hey, just buy the banks. Banks are doing great. Banks make a ton of money. But, I don't want to buy B of A at 55. I don't want to buy JP Morgan at 330. There's some banks I'd buy, but, the list pretty much starts and stops right now with SoFi. Am I rushing to buy shares at 27 and 28? No, because I already have way too many shares. You can never have too many shares, by the way, by the by. Yeah, Frank, me too. God, I'm supposed to be on a diet, guys, because I don't want to die young. I don't know. I don't have the willpower. I'm so weak. I'm so fucking weak. You are so weak. I'm like, I know. I know. Never been to war. Never really had to do anything hard. Things that are just mild discomfort I caring about. Just pathetic. Seriously. I need army training, sir. Need some angry guy with like a bayonet just poking me in my fat hindquarters when I slow down. Like, see the like Navy SEAL stuff on TV where they're just driving with the deflated 4x4 tires like a bullhorn. Run, run, run. Ring the bell, fat boy. Uh, yeah, you're killing us, Billy Jack, with your fried pork chops. Your boy named Sue. All the glitz and glamour down in Texarkana. I'd probably pay way too much for some mediocre sushi tonight. Is this fish fresh? No. Awesome. Oh man. I'm gonna try to get a reservation under the name Brian Bosworth. Is the boss still around? I sure hope so. Ugh. Anyway, um, you're killing me, Billy Jack. You're absolutely killing me, um, in a good way. But yeah, so there's an interesting like just Google. I was doing some AI stuff, but like, why are the assumptions as low as they are? I think the assumptions are fine, but they're just completely overblown, and I think they underestimate the upside of this business model. They underestimate the power of cross selling. They underestimate how much demand is going to rise as interest rates slowly come down. I'm not saying they're going to come down more immediately. I know they're talking about, there won't be any cuts soon. I understand all that, but I don't think interest rates are going up because I think the real economy on the lower side is very, very shaky. And when I say shaky, I mean it's fucked. So, Devin Ishida, you're a sushi chef. Wow. Respect, man. I love sushi. I love sushi chefs. I have tremendous respect for sushi chefs. I know it's a lot of, and I notice, not generalized, but I notice you have a Japanese name, which a lot of the sushi chefs in Los Angeles are Hispanic. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, I like the traditional places where the chef is Japanese and doesn't speak English. Like, it's a real experience, You almost have to go with somebody who speaks Japanese. It's places in pardon me, some water. That's awesome, Devin. What a great vocation. You have my respect. It's something I always want to do, one of those classes like how to make sushi. I made sushi before. Like I taught myself how to make sushi rice, and man, mine was terrible. Cut fish and all, but kind of comes out okay. You just put some soy sauce on it. It's edible. Get some sushi grade fish. You can't really do too bad, but making the rice and making it all perfect and balanced, it's just something I would love to do. But I want to open my barbecue place too, but don't have the time, money, skill, guts, courage, balls, minerals, ganas. I wish I had the ganas of a Lou Diamond Phillips and stand and deliver. Or I wish I had Edward James almost pattern baldness. You guys ever watch a movie called The Milagro Beanfield Wars? Good flick. I think they showed it to us when we were in school. I don't know why I remembered that right now. One of the first half Japanese chefs in LA. Wow, that's amazing. Cool. Badass. You were one of the first half Japanese sushi chefs? Seemed like so you must be kind of old, no offense. Yeah, man. Love to come to your place, eat some sushi. Um, because there seemed like there would be a lot of half Japanese sushi chefs, because I do know a lot of half Japanese people, um, especially around my neck of the woods, like the Gardena area, Torrance area. Very Japanese population. Palos Verdes used to be Japanese farmers before they got fucked over World War II. But anyway, Yeah, Frank the Tank's out in Arkansas. He's more likely to meet up for them fried pork chops, Billy Jack, and the Butt Crack Boys. Have a little bit of a hoedown, if you know what I mean. Some big women, some big chops, a couple of Billy Jack specialties. Know what I mean? Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end this show because it's just completely pointless. But yeah, Devin, if you want to put your when I get off this show, put her oh, the South Bay. Boom. Boom. Okay, now you're scaring me because I'm gonna eat you out of house and home. I go to a sushi spot and it's expensive. The bill is just absolutely absurd. So what do you have? 8 or 10 more people coming? Why are you ordering so much food? Like, no, it's just me. Give me the big boat. We don't do the big boat for one. Like, no, there's two of us. Like my partner's hiding out of embarrassment. Bring the big boat. Okay, okay. Give fat guy the big boat. I love places that have boats. I know it's a total pain in the ass for the chef to have to finagle everything into that boat, but it's a good experience for the fat customer. Anyway, Billy Jack loves Chinese, Japanese women, big women, small women, basically any woman that'll give him the time of day. He's all over it like white on rice. Now I'm sure Billy Jack's pretty much the Casanova, having his pick of the litter, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? As long as she likes Jack in the Box and pork chops, we're good. Need to watch Applied. They buy the dip, they buy the companies, favor good fundamentals, follow the group. Yeah, I just own so many stocks. I just want to sell some stocks and go off grid, just go walkabout, just take a big swim in Lake Me. Because I always thought I'd be poor my whole life. And now that I'm not poor, I'm still like just bored and aimless. Think life is pointless. I don't know. Anyway, it's a happy message here from Moon Poco Moms. I don't know. I don't think if I get any more money or any bigger account, I'll be 1 cent happier, which is really the goal, I think. Do something fulfilling. I used to do a lot of volunteer work before COVID, and COVID kind of shut my program down. So kind of sucks, but I got to get going again. Can't make any excuses. That's been over for years now. So should have been started again already. But everything with me is an excuse or a delay. Everybody knows how to get in shape. You just eat right and do exercise. But doing it is a whole nother thing. I could do a show about talking about it. But I said I was going to lose that weight before the end of summer, I guess. 4th of July. I got to do it. Or else I'm going to be the humiliate of the whole U-turd community. RDW deals in space like Fly that both work together. Interesting. Thanks, Billy Jack. Love you guys too, man. This show is just, I don't know why I started doing this. I thought nobody would ever watch, and really nobody does, but it's still great therapy. I get to talk and talk and talk, and Princess J doesn't have to listen to it. She says she does and she likes, but she don't listen. She has too much sense. Too much good mental health to be influenced by the likes of me. Excellent group, Billy Jack. We got a good audience here. It's a small audience. You guys got tiny wings, but you got big hearts. We love you for it. Yeah, it's excellent. Hear that Frank, SoFi, and Neo got my money. Yeah. Oh man, Neo's tough. With all due respect to Rune always says Neo's a capital destroyer, and he's got a point. It's been tough. If you bought it near 70 and it's 4 now, definitely makes a point. Eat whole foods. Yeah, I've been really working on eating no processed stuff. But I've been eating a lot of Korean food, a lot of fried cutlets, a lot of heavy soups. Like, how healthy is beef? What do they call those things? Like oxtail and cabbage soup. Just eating tons of oxtails. But that's one of the things I've been working on, Devin, is just eating less processed foods and eating a lot more unhealthy whole foods. I don't know. Something's seriously wrong with me. Oh, good stuff tonight. Been here since the OG days. Was killing last year making the streams. That sucks. Yeah, the streams are terrible. I'm sorry, Chris. But I'm going to end the show soon. just kind of rambling on because I don't want to actually go back to work. But yeah, Andrew Jeffrey, I think that's who Tanner had on. He looks really young here. Just looks like really young. That patch of hair that he had there, it was just standing out like an archipelago or a peninsula. It's just not there. So I don't know. Look at the fucking success rate on this guy though. What a fucking stud. I wish I was smarter or better looking or had some kind of talent or not fat. Things would have been different. Oh, they say eat right to lose weight. Exercise does not help it. Yep, that's what they say. It's 80% diet, 90% diet. Exercise will like get your muscles in shape, get your wind. You'll be more fit. You'll be able to do more, but it will not actually take the pounds off. You have to just get in a big caloric deficit. And you're not going to get in a big caloric deficit through exercise because even an hour on a treadmill, even as a fat guy, I can only burn like 1,400 calories. And that's like one Korean cutlet meal with a side of mac salad. You guys like the Hawaiian mac salad? A little bit of tuna fish in there. Oh, yeah. Give me a nice Hawaiian plate lunch. Give me the 2-3 scoops of rice. Give me 2 scoops of mac salad. Give me like a 4-pound fried cutlet, some short ribs, something healthy, something unprocessed. Am I right, Devin? That's what Devin recommended I eat. I guess mac salad might be processed. It's a bunch of mayonnaise in it. Foreign people are shocked by how much mayonnaise we eat. Mayonnaise and ranch dressing. I find ranch dressing to be like a reverse index of your education level, like what you put it on. You dip your pizza in ranch dressing, you didn't finish high school. You put your fries in ranch dressing, you didn't finish college. So and so and so and so. You don't have advanced degree. Dip your wiener in ranch dressing. You went to a good trade school. Good plastering school. I don't know. I just fix a bunch of bash mobility. Just how my belly sticks out further. I've been on a 5-day fast. I'm so fat, but that's why I want pork chops. Well, 5-day fast. Good on you, brother. You got more willpower than I do. Matthew Chode downgraded to 28. Then Andrew Jeffrey, who used to, I think, be with Truist, is a buy. He's a strong buy. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get the hell out of here because there was no point to the show in the first place, but up a little bit after hours, it looks like, if that's actually correct. Don't know if it is. Let's reload. Yeah, so it looks like it's back up. We knew 2750 was going to be magnetic. We knew there was going to be a magnetic pull there, but I think it's still going to work its way up pre-ER. Because they wouldn't have bought $1.6 billion or whatever worth of stock at 2750 if they thought the shares were worth 2750. They want to buy at a discount. That's why you buy these huge blocks, because you get that price. Not really. I mean, they could have bought it whatever. It wasn't like a big discount to anything. Probably got, what was it, 8% discount or something. I mean, the stock was running up through 29 before they clipped our nuts. Like Ben Affleck's mom in the town. She doped up real good. Would you rate Ben Affleck's talent level on a scale of 0 to 1? I would be at a 0. But then again, Kevin Costner, I would be at a 0.0, negative 0. Yeah, man. Come on out and see us. Come on out and see us. See us in LA. I'm going to hopefully have a bigger boat pretty soon. We can go out and disco. Anyway, guys, Billy Jack can cook. I could tell. I can cook anything too. I've cooked in many different restaurants. I can cook many different cuisines. I'm no good with Asian food, but I can do, Italian. I can do continental. Mostly I've been a grill man. I'm really good with like steaks and chops and burgers and all that fun stuff. Can do 20 different orders on the grill. 5-6 tickets, no problema. Or at least I could 20 years ago. Now I would die within 5 minutes because I'm old and fat and useless. But hey, c'est la vie. Anyway, guys, SoFi, un poco más. Totally pointless exercise and futility of this broadcast, but I appreciate you guys watching. I will pick you up in Glasgow. I'll be there. I'll be there ASAP. I'll send you an Uber. I did not see the IOVA presentation update, but I'm going to look at all the updates right now, and I will say I may be back later, but I won't. So Anyway, guys, I hope it's a great weekend. I'll try to be back with some kind of show. Yeah, I bet Billy Jack's the real deal. I can tell. I know things about people, even from the internet. Hey, thanks a lot, Clap My Dog. I appreciate you guys. Big shout out to the great Naughty Lurker, wherever he's at, probably working, probably spending time with family. Pack some Slim Jims. I'll keister him on my way into the penitentiary. Pasta Norma. Which of your stocks are the best? My favorite is SoFi, but yeah, favorites are probably SoFi, Microsoft, Google, um, plenty of other stocks I like, but yeah, those are probably my favorites right now. I like Meta right now too. I think Meta is making a lot of smart moves. I think the valuation is pretty solid on Microsoft and Meta. I don't know about Google, but I'd still be a buyer. I just think long term they're going to be a monster. I think those three are going to grow. I think they're going to continue to earn. I think they're going to monetize AI because they already have the scale, they already have the clout, and they're making the necessary investments and moves to be leaders in the space. So I think SoFi is doing the same. I think SoFi built a very, very strong foundation, and now, we're going to harvest the fruits of that labor. And you know how I love fruits.